Welcome to the post-match show. What an exciting competition that which is just ended in a result which Salil did not predict, but not rubbing it in, but just saying that it's a fantastic evening today, isn't it, Salil?
Well, I think it was a match on even keels. Just that all the guys were just throwing away their wickets from Delhi, and that's exactly what happened. You just need to bring your or get your eye in when you come into bat. And I think towards the end, you saw Shreyas Iyer and Ravichandran Ashwin do just that. They were not flashy enough, just a couple of boundaries and the six to end it all. But apart from that, they did nothing special and they took their team home. So good job done there by Ashwin and Shreyas Iyer.
A solid performance by Shreyas Iyer. A lot of talks about him being excluded from the T20 World Cup squad. He's again showed that he is here to stay, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He was always a prospect. He's not only here to stay, he's here to dominate.
Yeah.
He's possibly one of the future captain prospects of the Indian cricket team, at least for white ball from the current scenario. So yeah, you can't take the man out. He's definitely there, and he's also amongst the reserves for the Indian
Yeah.
team, which is going there. So, yep, good job there to show the world that what you're really made of.
Right. Did you quite back the decision of Aksar coming above a Hetmeyer today?
Well, I thought that was a great thing to do purely because Shreyas also did not come. He came after Rishabh Pant. We
Yeah.
realized Rishabh Pant had come two down. Generally, doesn't do that. So possibly he would have come there and he started scoring runs in a jiffy, and that
Yeah.
really helped them. I think what they ensured was they made sure that the runs were coming and didn't let the match go. But the wickets were also falling, giving Mumbai hope. So everybody was on the edge of their seat. It kind
Yeah.
of looked like in the last 2 overs, but then it looked like when once Ashwin got settled and was taking those
Yeah.
singles, didn't really look quite threatening for Delhi to not score that 130. So I think all in all, from a batting perspective, Delhi managed to move their people here and there up and down,
Yeah.
but at the same time it was important that one of those top six are there towards the end. I think Hetmeyer started brilliantly, but then he got
Yeah.
out. He was going to finish the match really early, but that's generally what's happening with most of the guys who are getting starts. They're not able to sustain it. They try too much, they become too ambitious, and then
Yeah.
give away their wickets. So sadly, so it didn't work out. But then I think in the end, Ashwin batted really well to help Shreyas Iyer get Delhi over the line.
Right. You've summed it up very nicely here, Salil. The way both we've got the scorecard here, Salil. Uh, that important 33 balls for Iyer, magnificent. Krunal Pandya, do you think he should have been bowled early out rather than giving him the last over?
Well, I think they tried their best because obviously these are better players of spin, and Krunal Pandya would have gone for more runs possibly earlier. So I think what Rohit Sharma would have thought was, let me bowl out my quicks and try and get as many runs for my for these last for this last
Yeah.
over. But
Yeah.
sadly, so it didn't happen. They were cruising along really nicely and keeping the run rate in check, and didn't really climb up so much for them to really worry and go for those flashy shots. So I think that's fine. I think that's exactly what happened with Rishabh Pant. He realized that the quicks are
Yeah.
making a bigger impact, and hence Ashwin's over was kept towards the end. That was the only one remaining since he's not gone with Lalit Yadav today. He had to make sure that Ashwin bowled, and Ashwin went for a few. It's exactly what happened to the spinner here as well.
Right there, Salil. Now coming to this one aspect of Ashwin, can you classify him as an all-rounder in the T20 format?
Well, he's a handy bat. He's not somebody who will be easily taken. His wicket won't be that easy. It won't be very easy to just contain him and bowl four dot balls. And by four
Yeah.
dot balls in 20 overs, it's almost eating up an over. So some of the impact that might happen with maybe a tail ender will not definitely happen with him. He
Hmm.
also has a test century to his name, so clearly
Yeah.
he can bat. And definitely, I mean, with the kind of experience and it's Ashwin's also been in the news for the last few days, and
Yeah,
not really great for his prospects. But yes, this is how he answers his critics by
yeah.
playing great cricket and taking his team over the line.
One other aspect talking about all rounders here is no bowling for Hardik Pandya.
Well, he's not fully fit. That's what Mahela Jayawardene said. He's not going to bowl an over till he's 100% fit, and maybe he might not do that. Maybe he might bowl directly in the World Cup. We don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
But the fact that he's not bowling means lesser options for Rohit Sharma, which looked like they almost had 7 or 8 people who can really swing bowl and arm.
yeah,
And Hardik Pandya is obviously was one of the mainstays of the bowling attack at one point in time, now being considered only from a batting perspective. But his bowling definitely would add a lot. He's got that nippy pace and definitely will make a difference for Mumbai.
All in all, a fantastic win for Delhi. Salil. Now moving from one exciting competition to a second match, which is in between Rajasthan Royals and Chennai today. The news out in the middle is that RR has won the toss and elected to bowl first.
Well, I think that's a good prospect by Sanju Samson to identify the fact that any kind of score that they're going to make, Chennai might most probably chase it down
Yeah,
because the batting wicket here is going to be true. It's going to bat throughout the day. So I think taking a chance on trying and contain them as much as possible with the RR bowling, which has been blowing hot and cold purely because you have guys like Karthik Tyagi who are turning up and trying to win you
yeah,
matches, while you have guys like Chris Morris who've been a failure in the last couple of matches. And I have to say
yeah,
that because they've been extremely expensive to the extent that your bowling has really impacted the result of the match,
yeah,
and that's where they really need to work out. I think Tiwatia needs a little more sting as compared to what he had in the last season. He was much better. Their
yeah,
contributions right from the bowling, I think Mustafizur Rahman is doing a great job. So is Chetan Sakaria,
yeah.
but he's not really got that kind of that kind of a lift from his performance perspective as what he performed back in April. So while some of them I think are really looking at making an impact in today's
Mhm,
game,
mhm.
I think they have a few players who can turn up and spoil Chennai's party.
Talking about Chennai, now that they've qualified, for the playoffs, do you think we can see a change in their 11, Ali?
Well, there is a change. I don't know if we have the squads yet, but
Yeah, we
we
got the
have a
squad
couple
here.
of changes there. And
Yeah,
Sam Curran comes in for Bravo quite naturally because both of them are quite similar. I think Sam Curran should also get
yeah,
a game.
yeah,
And an interesting one here, KM Asif replacing Deepak Chahar.
yeah,
So I think that guy has been rested because he's been bowling those 4 overs for I think the whole tournament, and he's done
yeah,
a great job. So I think he should rest it out a couple of games, and he may play in the last game before the playoffs. So
yeah,
3 more games to go for Chennai, and and everything to win for, because they're not really they're possibly the best team. They are the best team in the tournament currently from a performance perspective. They're
yeah,
looking very dangerous. Uh, Barely maybe with Suresh Raina as one of their areas where they would want him to perform. I
yeah.
think the
True.
entire team is performing. Even Dhoni came into his own when he finished that match with the six last time around. So I think clearly he's also got his eye in. And you have guys like Ruturaj Gaikwad and Faf du Plessis playing some brilliant cricket up front and scoring almost 400 runs, put 800 runs between them
Amongst themselves. Yeah.
in this tournament. So I think great prospect for Chennai. They're just going to go out and enjoy themselves. I don't think they have any reason why they wouldn't win this match.
Salil, just to help understand, and for all our viewers, what do you think RR is wanting to chase today?
And I think anywhere less than a 170 would be chaseable by RR by RR standards and by RR form that they have right now.
Yeah,
I think their opening batsmen, their top three, are the key to to any kind of hope for victory. You want a Yashasvi Jaiswal and Evan Lewis and a Sanju Samson to really dig in and bat. To have play the chunk of those 20 overs.
Yeah,
That's where they can possibly chase this towards the end because their
true.
middle order has not really been great. Again, if they lose those quick early wickets, then it's doubtful if they will even make, and then they'll lose out on a lot of run rate as well. So um, I think they would want to restrict Chennai to anywhere less than a 170.
There you have it. All the information from our expert is out there for all our viewers. Once again, it's a pleasure talking to you, Salil. And before we go, your prediction for this match would be
Yes, as I mentioned, it's Chennai. I think Chennai all the
Chennai.
way. Difficult to beat them. They have a great combination, and I think I'll pick Chennai this time.
And what can I have a standout player from Chennai that who's gonna be the man for Chennai today?
Well, I think one of the openers shall do the job. It's either Gaikwad or Duplessis.
Right. And whom do you think is going to be the man for RR tonight?
I think Chris Morris needs to pull something out of his armory to really do well and change the performances of the last couple of matches. So I think Chris Morris might make a difference.
Right there. Thanks a lot for your input, Salil. We'll catch up in the mid-match presentation. Thank you for your time. Thank you to all our viewers. Cheers.
Thanks, Paris.